Welcome back to BVarsity Live. Zach Ewing, Trevor Horn with you in the Dignity Health, in the studio, downtown studio at the Californian.
You watch your mouth.
Yeah. We are going to switch gears here. We talked a little Sheldon Croney, unfortunate accident at a residence on Tuesday, and then we talked some golf with Jared Kinoshita and Dan Lemon. That was a lot of fun. Now we will switch gears and welcome in Nick Papagni to the show, the Pag Meter, who keeps the entire Valley abreast on high school sports better than anybody, and he's going to talk some baseball and softball seedings. Are you with us, Nick? We're having a little bit of trouble with static there, but hopefully we can get him. Okay, Nick, are you there?
Yes.
There we go. You were blasted out there the first time. Well, it's almost time. Saturday, out come the playoff brackets for baseball and softball. And I know it's something you've been sort of looking forward to all the way since January, basically. What's your feeling on these playoffs? They seem pretty wide open on both sides.
I'm telling you guys, this is probably the first year I've seen in a long, long time where anybody can beat anybody, and it is so wide open from the top, probably the 1 seed all the way down to number 8, almost in every division.
Now, I'll tell you, We'll focus on baseball here for a second, and I know Buchanan carries with it the state ranking and the national ranking and those sort of things. I didn't ask him for specifics, but I do know Centennial's athletic director, Tom Haskell, said he was going to put together an argument saying that if Centennial won both of its games this week, and they did win last night, that he thought Centennial should be the number 1 seed. Any chance of that you see happening, or is Centennial locked into the 2 in your mind?
Well, I think it's either going to be 1 or 2. I think Buchanan has some more wins, a little more quality wins over Centennial. But, I mean, really the key right now for anybody is to get the 1 and 2 seeds so you can play at home until you get the Rawhide. And I think that's going to be the key. I got Centennial at number 2 just from the fact that I think the track overall has been a little tougher this year than the SWYL, but that's not taking anything away from the SWYL. But Centennial is very good, and what a matchup that would be, Buchanan versus Centennial.
Okay, hey, Nick, it's Trevor. What's going on? What we're going to show our viewers right now is what Max Preps has as their top 5 in D1 for the Central section. And what we have right now is we have Buchanan number 1, Centennial 2, Madera number 3, Clovis 4, and Clovis West 5. So you've got 3 teams from the track, an SWL and a CMAC team. How do you feel about that as 1 through 5? And the possibility for Saturday seedings?
Well, I don't look at Max Prep. Usually never will I ever look at Max Prep because they only look at record. They don't look at strength of schedule. They don't look at who beat who. So I only look at them for maybe who has played who. But don't go by Max Prep. They don't do their homework. I think I've got Tulare. Well, mine would be Buchanan 1, Centennial 2, Tulare Western 3. Madera 4, Clovis 5, and the reason why Tulare Western beat Clovis head-to-head, and I go by head-to-head more than anything.
Absolutely, yeah.
For sure.
There's definitely not an argument with that. I think that Max Preps does use strength of schedule and record, but it is a basic formula. It's just they just plug those 2 numbers in, and whatever spits out. So you mentioned 1 down to 8, being capable of winning this thing. Give me a couple of sleeper teams maybe people aren't thinking about that could make it to Rawhide Ballpark on that Saturday night.
Well, if you're dealing with Division I, I think the best team right now, nobody wants to play is Madera. I think that's the team that could be in Rawhide with. I think they've got the best lefty in the Valley, Alex Gamboa, going. If he has to face anybody, you don't want to face him. Clovis is playing the best baseball right now. Clovis West is not. They just suffered their shortstop, Ian Ross, is out for the year, broken collarbone. That's going to hurt them. Bullard doesn't have their 3 pitchers. They're out for the year. So I don't even know how they're going. Frontier, I don't know. They're up and down, but they can still beat anybody. Clovis North hasn't scored a run in 21 straight innings. So you're looking at in Division I. I think that Buchanan, Centennial, Tulare Western, Madera, and Clovis are the top 5 teams. So they can that's going to be tough. And then you got Central, who's won 3 in a row. And if Colton Eastman's going, you don't want to face him in the first round.
That's the thing, is that most of these teams have at least one pitcher where it's like man, they throw that guy. I don't know that they can win 4 games in a row, but they throw that guy out there, they could beat anybody.
Right. And then Centennial also dealing with injuries with first baseman Cole Dewey out for the year after breaking his leg in the All-Star Bowl.
What's Nick? What's the attitude up in the Fresno area, Clovis area about Centennial's home ballpark? Because if they do get a 1 or a 2 seed, they're going to host a quarterfinal and a semifinal if they win the first game, obviously. And last year they moved that game with Central to Bakersfield College, but I've been told that's not going to happen this year. That they want that home field advantage. They're going to play at Centennial, where we all know they got a small ballpark. The wind tends to blow out. There's kind of that jet stream effect. There's more home runs hit there than there are anywhere else. Does that get in the heads of some of these Clovis teams and coaches that they when they play there, it has the possibility of being a 12-8 game or a 15-10 game?
Yeah, what I tell people is if you're going to play Centennial, go practice in your softball field because it's about the same thing. So you get used to the outfield and fly balls. Yeah, it is what it is. You got to keep the ball down. If you're a fly ball pitcher, you're going to be in trouble, and it's the way it goes. But it's made for both teams. So no, I don't think it's a big issue right now. No one's really even talking about Centennial. They know they're outstanding, and if they have to play at home, they're going to be tough to beat.
Okay, let's move on to D2 if we can, Nick. John, let's go ahead and throw that up there. So our top 5 that we have, again, Nick, I know you don't like it, but this is just what I pulled off of Max Preps. Edison 1, Redwood 2, El Diamante 3, Hanford 4, and then Tehachapi, who is, they could win or lose today. If they lose, they're not in the SYL title. That's kind of up for grabs with Golden Valley playing East. East is winless, so... where do you see these? Who do you have in your top 5 in D2?
Well, you're really close to that. I got Edison number 1 they've played the toughest schedule. They played a Division I schedule. El Diamante is number 2 because they're going to win the WIL. Redwood had a shot to win the WIL, but decided to not throw the race against El Dean. They lost, but I'm going to take the champion if it comes down to head-to-head. Redwood 3. Hanford, I've got 4. Fresno High, number 5. Now, Tehachapi, I've got them at number 8 because they have not played anybody, and they just do not deserve to be in the top 7 because strength of schedule, I don't know who they've beaten. They have not beaten anybody in Division II or Division I, so I've got them number 8.
Yeah, that league is by and large a D3 league, so that's what hurts Tehachapi. Now, I will say, if they get a home game, that's a tough place to go up and win a ball game. And as a league champion, they probably will, assuming they win that league title, they probably will get at least 1 home game. You've got them at 8, which obviously would be 1.
Now, and then, Nick, let's move to D3, which you and I think are in agreement here that this is a very unique situation in D3 because a team that we don't have listed. I've got Exeter number 1, Emmanuel 2, Golden Valley 3, BCHS 4, Chowchilla 5, but you throw in a couple other teams there, like Independence, who's got 2 lefties and a 6'9" righty on the mound, and Kevin Larson, and then another team that you're pretty high on right now, and that's Garces out of the SWYL with Hudson Hartley throwing on the mound for them.
So wait, you just went to D4 on them. Are you at D3 or D4 now?
No, D3.
You went.
Oh,
okay,
I did. You know what? I
D3.
did go D3. I apologize.
You threw me a curveball.
Yeah, so D3 would be Kerman, Ridgeview, Kingsburg, Porterville, Dinuba, and then you throw in Garces and Independence in there, and even Highland in there in D3 for local teams.
Okay, yeah, I've got Kerman number 1, Ridgeview, Porterville battling for number 2, but then again with Garces, if you look at their schedule, how do you penalize them? They're playing in the toughest, one of the top leagues in the Valley, SWYL. If they were playing in any other league, they might be 25-5 right now. Now, I read your article yesterday about Highland. You thought they might be a top 3 seed. There is no way they're getting the top 3 seed because they have not beaten anybody. And it's a great story. Them winning the first league title since 1997. But do you see Highland at least a number 8, maybe a home game?
Highland sort of reminds me of South High in football, maybe, where they have their best team in years. They're beating everybody in the league. It's a great story, but look, none of that changes the fact that the league is no good. I mean,
the league is very much top heavy with them, and North, and I still think that they have a strong advantage over North, even that.
Yeah, they did.
And then-
they did
and-
beat North twice, which is a Division II team. So that
and
would
they
be the
beat
one
North
feather in
pretty
their cap.
handedly. I
Yeah.
think a combined 23-2 in those 2 wins, and they lost to them 4-3 in their first game. And that was without Tyson Hayes on the mound. That kid is lights out in that league. He's a gamer, but yeah, I don't. Do you see Kerman? You said you saw Kerman in there, number 1, and then do you think Garces could be kind of like Centennial was last year in softball D1, where they could come out of like a 7, 8, or a 9 seed and really just kind of take it to teams because they have played that hard schedule and maybe they play a little bit tougher baseball than everybody else in D3?
If Garces can get any pitching whatsoever, they're going to be playing at Rawhide. That's how good they are. I just don't know if their pitching can hold up in a playoff format. Ridgeview and Porterville should be battling for the number 2 spot, but boy, I got Garces right now at 4. Kurt Kingsburg lost last night to Selma. To me, that dropped them a point. Mm-hmm. So I've got Garces 4, Kingsburg 5, and then I think a big one they're gonna have to play tomorrow because all the Kern Valley games are canceled today. So Independence plays Ridgeview tomorrow. Yeah, if Ridgeview wins that one, that's going to be a big win for them.
Yeah, I don't. Have we heard for sure that those games are canceled today?
I have not.
Yeah.
Nick, where did you get that from?
I got it from one of the coaches at Ridgeview that
Okay.
they're officially canceled from high winds, but we'll see.
Yeah, no, I knew that was a
You guys know more
possibility.
than I
We
do.
just hadn't heard. So Nick's breaking some news for us here. Anyway, the point being, it's you talk about an Independence or a Garces where they're playing better lately, and okay, Independence got a pitcher back from injury, or Highland where it's a good story. The committee is not going to use those things. They're going to look at their objective criteria, and they're going to put them 1, 2, 3, 4 based on the criteria they were given, and that's why some people have a problem with the brackets. I happen to think it makes it interesting. It means you have a lower seed that could be a sleeper type team like an Independence or a Garces, and so that's just how it goes. But I will say, until further notice, Kerman's the team to beat. I mean, Kerman plays such good baseball. They're so solid. Their pitching is so good. Their defense is so good that they've got to be the favorite in D3 for me. You want to move on to D4 real quick?
Yeah, let's go over to D4 real quick. So Exeter 1, Emmanuel 2, Golden Valley 3, Bakersfield Christian 4, Chowchilla 5. What do you think about that?
Division 4 might be the toughest to figure out. I've got Exeter 1, but I've got Emmanuel down a little more. I've got Golden Valley and Bakersfield Christian battling for that 2 spot. Look at Division 4. How many 20-game winners there are in that division? Where I think that's going to be the toughest one to figure out.
Yeah, and I know Golden Valley and Bakersfield Christian actually played in the D4 semifinal last year, and Austin Turner beat BCHS for Golden Valley. They went on and lost to Kerman in the championship game. So you're right. That's definitely a wide open division as well. What about Division 5?
Division 5, it's Chavez number 1 easily, and it's just a matter of who gets number 2 spot. I think.
Okay.
20-game winner. This is one of the best classes Chavez has ever had.
Yep.
Yeah, you look at baseball, basketball, and football. You're absolutely correct about that. And Kennedy, it is for sure the best class that they've ever had. So, Nick, can we
Not so much in baseball and softball, but yeah, definitely in football.
right? Can we in basketball? Can we bring you back for another segment to talk a little softball?
Sure, let's do it.
All right, let's take a quick break here on BVarsity Live. We'll be back. We'll talk softball seedings after this.